All right, welcome in. This is Philadelphia Eagles now by Chat Sports. It's day 5 of 2023 NFL free agency, and there's a lot to talk about. First, though, shout out to our sponsor, Kanzuri, for making today's show possible. 15% off of their height-boosting shoes at kanzuri.com/chat. Let's tell you more about this brand new sponsor. Fellas, are you tired of feeling insecure about your height? Some people are. Kanzuri makes shoes that can add up to 2.8 inches to your height, all discreetly. Women get heels, makeup, and push-up bras. Why can't men get a confidence boost as well? We're all the same height lying down anyway, if you know what I mean. Kanzuri shoes are not only height-boosting, but also stylish and comfortable. They're not grandpa's Velcro shoes, though, but fashionable shoes that can receive compliments even without the height increase. The height insoles are integrated into the shoes, making it the ultimate height hack. And for a limited time only, Kanzuri offering our viewers an exclusive discount of 15% off on top of their 30% site-wide discount. Make sure you use the code CHAT at kanzuri.com/chat. That's CONZURI.com/chat. When I want to get high, I put on a pair of Kanzuris. The link is available in the comment section and in the description of this video. So as I said, a lot to discuss here on day 5 of free agency. Eagles making no moves today as of right now, but late last night signed Marcus Mariota to back up quarterback Jalen Hurts. We'll talk about him more in depth at the tail end of today's show, as well as Greedy Williams. But an interesting development here across the NFL with ties and familiarity to Philadelphia. Adam Schefter with this just moments ago that the Patriots are releasing defensive back Jalen Mills. The release saves New England about $5 million on this year's salary cap. Here's the thought process with Jalen Mills. If the Eagles do lose Gardner-Johnson, could Jalen Mills, who has played corner, outside slot, and has played safety so far in his NFL career, come back on a discounted price and play safety for this football team? Another thought is that Jalen Mills can be brought in to play safety. He was a fan favorite for a long time, also known as the Green Goblin. And could you also bring back CJ Gardner-Johnson? And then your safety trio would have depth and pretty solid talent with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Jalen Mills, and Reed Blankenship, who took some strides last year. Here is Jalen Mills' positional breakdown, and I guarantee you this, a lot of other Eagles YouTube channels aren't going this deep on this type of stuff. This is why you subscribe. In 2016, he played 16 games at defensive back, where he was used versatility-wise by this Eagles defense in that year. 2017, second year under Jim Schwartz, who happened to love Jalen Mills, he played 15 games at left cornerback specifically. In 2018, missed some time after that Super Bowl season, only played 8 games at left cornerback. 2019, 9 games at left cornerback as he came back from that injury the year before. Here's where things start to get interesting, and why we're talking about it right now, is that in 2020, Jalen Mills' final year as an Eagle, in a contract year, he played 15 games at free safety, but was used all around the football field as a corner, safety, and chess piece in this Eagles defense. That then led to him getting signed by the New England Patriots as a cornerback, where he played 16 games at right corner. But in 2022, he was once again used, like he was by Jim Schwartz, by Bill Belichick, as Schwartz and Bill Belichick used to work with one another in the early 1990s with the Cleveland Browns all around the football field. And we're talking about an experienced player here. 89 games throughout his NFL career and nearly 80 starts. You look at what he's done throughout his career, the aforementioned 89 games, 52 pass breakups, 361 tackles to go along with 7 interceptions. I think that Mills could be an affordable option. He could play corner, he could play safety, but after the acquisition and signing of Greedy Williams, the purpose of this conversation, you would bring the Green Goblin back as a safety, either as a starter or as a depth piece, ideally for an affordable price. So with that, today's poll question is this. We want to hear from you down in the comment section. So fly, Eagles, fly down to the comment section right now so that you can share your thoughts. Should the Eagles bring back a former Eagle, who a lot of people really, really like? Type his initials for yes, JM, or O for you want another option. As for the latest on Gardner-Johnson, a couple of teams reportedly interested in Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. It includes the Cincinnati Bengals, who lost Jesse Bates, the Denver Broncos, and of course, his former team in the Philadelphia Eagles, among the teams showing interest in him. And this has been a pretty fascinating free agency period for Gardner-Johnson. You would think with how he played last year, he would have a pretty vast market. Up to this point, though, he remains unsigned as one of the top safety options in this free agency class on day 5 of free agency. And because of that, yesterday on Thursday, he tweeted this and then deleted it. The disrespect is real. And then the day before that, he tweeted out a couple of periods because, I don't know, maybe he's trying to get the conversation going. But the disrespect is real part. Is that because Gardner-Johnson believes that he should get paid, he's not getting paid, or he's receiving contract offers that he believes are far below the asking price that he believes he should be seeking? Now, you look at some of the other big-time safeties who have signed deals so far in free agency. And honestly, I know that Gardner-Johnson only played 1 year of safety this past year, but I think that the versatility to his game, playing slot corner, playing safety, being a ball hawk, having anticipatory skills, being able to read concepts offensively to get a beat on the football, to pick off a league-high 6 passes this past year, makes him very, very valuable. And honestly, after watching the tape all year and seeing him within this Eagles defense throughout the entire 2022 campaign, I think that Gardner-Johnson is up there with the Jesse Bates as well as a Jordan Poyer, and he probably wants to get paid as such. So Jordan Poyer, it was a 2-year deal. He made a lot of money. And Trace, if we could go back to the Jesse Bates contract, CD Deuce is probably looking at a 4-year, $64 million deal with $36 million guaranteed. He doesn't have the safety experience of Jesse Bates, but he's 25 years old. He could be a building block and a pillar for your defense. He probably wants something in that neighborhood, and as of right now, he's not getting it. And my read on the situation after that tweet from CJGJ is that he's not happy with the market. He believes that he should be getting higher offers that are more lucrative, and up to this point, he hasn't gotten them yet. If I'm Philadelphia, I'm bringing him back, and if they bring him back, my goodness, genius work by Howie Roseman to somehow retain Darius Slay, bring back James Bradbury, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, and also, hopefully, Gardner-Johnson. So, let's all get together here. He spent 1 year in Philadelphia. Hopefully, he spends more years in Philadelphia, but it's pretty telling that a player of this ilk who was only here for 1 year became a fan favorite immediately. So much so that Brian Dawkins was asked, what jersey would you get for a current Eagle? He said, that number 23. I like that guy. He can be used like Malcolm Jenkins. He can be used like the Honey Badger. Let's hope that he comes back. And let's all collectively together wish it into existence by typing those 2 3s down below. Make sure you also subscribe to the channel as you venture down to the comment section because our Eagles free agency coverage has been awesome. I think we've had breaking news almost every night this week on the channel. And when I've been at the crib, we've been cooking up videos and shows. Last night, for instance, Eagles signed Marcus Mariota, who we're about to talk about. It was midnight Central Time. I was on the mic at the at-home studio talking about it. Nobody's doing what we're doing, so lock us in and subscribe. As for Marcus Mariota, signed with the Eagles last night late on Thursday. It technically was Friday, as Howie Roseman does not sleep, on a 1-year, $5 million deal, which is worth up to $8 million with playing time incentives and performance incentives. And I've said this a couple of times as we talked about the backup quarterback position. I thought that Mariota made a lot of sense because Jalen Hurts has missed 4 starts in his 2 seasons as a starter. He's an agile, mobile quarterback, as the Eagles like to run a lot of RPO, quarterback power. They like to get the quarterback on the move. And if Hurts were to miss some time, there wouldn't be a massive change in the defensive scheme going from Hurts to Marcus Mariota. And worlds are colliding here, right? Because everybody wanted the Eagles to do the deal back in 2015 when Chip Kelly was the coach and trade up for Mariota. The rumored deal at that time is pretty funny to look back on. The Eagles were offering like 2 first-round picks, Fletcher Cox and Brandon Boykin, to try to move up to team up Marcus Mariota, who won a Heisman at Oregon with Chip Kelly, and then reunite them in Philadelphia. I think that Mariota's career could have worked out a little bit different if that ended up being the case. But then, if you draft Mariota, then do you win a Super Bowl in 2017? Because you probably do not have Carson Wentz at that point, as well as Doug Peterson. Revisionist history is certainly interesting. So I like the Mariota deal. This is an organization that has always invested in the backup quarterback position. A.J. Feely, Coy Detmer, Jeff Garcia, Nick Foles, Michael Vick, Gardner Minshew. They're doing it once again with Mariota. I think there's a better player in there. I just don't think that he's had a great coaching staff to really help him so far in his NFL career. As for Greedy Williams, signed with the Eagles last night as well. 1-year deal is currently what is being reported. Not sure what the contract is in terms of the money. It's going to be an affordable short-term deal, I imagine. This is a guy who was a second-round pick out of LSU in 2019. In 2021, he had 10 pass breakups. He actually played pretty well. Last year, hurt to start the year. Once he got back healthy, he was pretty much a healthy scratch to end the regular season. But Joe Woods was the Browns defensive coordinator. He was awful. He got fired. That Browns defense was a joke. I think Greedy is looking at this as an opportunity to really revive his career, rejuvenate his career, go to an organization that's actually well-run, unlike the Cleveland Browns, that has stability and culture, unlike the Cleveland Browns. And if he does play well, and I think he is, because he's not going to be going up against number 1 wide receivers, because he's playing alongside Darius Slay, James Bradbury, and Avonte Maddox. He plays well this year, then he cashes in as a player with some pedigree who's still in his mid-20s. Appreciate all of you for watching the show. Make sure you interact with me on Twitter and Instagram at Chase_Senior. Y'all are the best. You make weeks like this a lot of fun, where we've barely slept. We have worked a ton. Really, we're not off the clock ever, but we do it for y'all. So we appreciate the support. Give me a follow. Feel free to slide in my DMs if you have a question or you just want to say anything at Chase_Senior.